It's like,
All right.
yes.
One more meeting.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, who's happy? Good.
A resident, a resident.
Oh, actually, I thought it was like
No.
6 o'clock. Happy holidays. Welcome to the CROA meeting. It's the real one. It's not that little fake talking thing. Okay, let's get this show on the road and find out if this meeting was properly noticed.
It was.
Okay, quorum, I can count. We're good. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Interesting fact from, did anybody read the book Devil in the White City? About the Columbian exhibition?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's where that came from. They wanted every school kid in America to recite something political. And so in 1893, every school in America simultaneously recited that new pledge.
That's a great book.
Very interesting fact. Not that it has anything to do with us, but I'm going to call the meeting to order and begin our festivities with the always exciting owner's comment period. James, you're up first.
293 celebration board. First, thank you. First comment about our fitness center at Island Village. I know that doesn't affect a lot of people, but personal trainers are continuing to come into the facility. One is a celebration resident, the others are not. And they are loud and they control things. They never clean the equipment. So the people that do care are worried about the equipment having to be replaced and everything else because of these trainers. So hopefully the rec group will kick them out of something. Phase 2 on Island Village through November, 33 homes and townhomes and closed with another 24 under contract, leaving 26 units available. Work in phase 2B has really accelerated over the last few weeks. I know because all the trucks still behind the house. In total, Island Village now has a total of 183 homes, 84 townhomes, and 300 apartments that are owned people, which is why our meet and greets are so useful in getting neighbors to get to know each other. But see how that goes in 2026. Financials overall, November was not a good financial month. Ray gets to explain that, so congratulations. And despite the fact that as of today, 305 homes, townhomes, and condos have sold here, earning us $1.2 million in capital fees, things are going to get tight cash-wise over the next 4 to 6 months. This is due to spending about $3.4 million on 851. And so hopefully we can keep spending to critical needs over the first half of 2026 because things are going to get tight. As phase 2A sales finish and phase 2B begins in Island Village and if interest rates continue to fall, things should get better as 2026 progresses. And hopefully we'll be able to do some master plan projects because of that. Just one other comment from the finance committee. We were disappointed that we didn't get to go over the insurance program before it came to the board. And number two, we would very much like to have a discussion about these leased vehicles that you have on the agenda today, as opposed to looking at capital and saying, should we purchase? So, thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Kathleen. Speaking as a resident, not as the foundation, I believe.
1113 Rose Drive, just short and sweet. I want to ask Dana in all seriousness for a community resident alert system. I know I've brought this up before, but I'm willing to be in the room with the school district that notifies the schools to go into lockdown, with the CCDD, with CROA, with anyone that needs to be in the room, the sheriff's department, to make this happen for our community. I continue to see things happen throughout the nation, as you all do, and timing is critical if there is a threat to our community, and it's really very, very important. So if we can get that on our list for 2026, I would appreciate it. The second thing is a Thanksgiving dinner at my house. We have chalk and a placemat, and we write what we are grateful for. And I wrote the dog park. So I want you to know that I'm so very grateful for the dog park. I just wanted to share that. Yeah.
Thank you. Wow, that was fast. All right. Anybody else? Nobody's on the list. We're good. Motion to adopt the agenda.
Make the motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Minutes? Second. I'll second. Second, Charles. Anybody want to change anything? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. November financials. Great.
Good evening, everybody. So yes, as Jim mentioned, the month of November, we closed the month with an overage of $114,000 when compared to the budget. Primary drivers behind these overages are going to be $29,000 from uncollected assessment from the Island Village Phase 2 units. We have close to $14,000 in landscaping expenses related to the soccer fields. We have $12,000 from repairs and maintenance, which includes close to $8,000 in tools that were purchased for the maintenance teams. We have $11,000 in full operating expenses, and we also got hit with the property taxes this month, and we got hit with the budget maintenance. Year to date, the picture is a bit more darker. So the overage compared to budget is going to be $439,000. As some of you already know, a good chunk of that overage is going to be related to the uncollected assessment from Island Village, which up to November 30th, the number is going to be close to $318,000. The remaining $120,000 from that overage is going to be related to several accounts. We know we have an overage in repairs and maintenance. We have an overage in pool operating expenses. We have the overage of the additional Mayberry security pool officer, and we got an IT network overage as well. Now, during the year-end close, as a side note, we wanted to let you know that CDC is carrying a net surplus on their side of their financials. And as the year-end close process, we will be allocating a portion of that surplus back to CROA, which is going to help offset a portion of the current overall variance that we are carrying right now. Fund balances. As of November 30th, in operating, we had $179,000. In the reserve, we had $1.1 million, and in capital, we had $4.2 million. And as the chairman of the finance committee was mentioning, yes, things can get tied really quick with cash. A lot of the current cash that we have, a lot of the current balance that we have from the capital fund is mostly committed already with the $3.4 million with the A51. That doesn't include what we've been paying to CALIC. That doesn't include the final payment for splash pads. And that doesn't include what we've been paying to JVB for the design of the multipurpose courts. We also know that we're talking about the furniture of the A51 building. So yes, there's gonna be a big bills coming our way soon. So yes, we gotta proceed with cautions. Question.
Yes, I noticed one of the drivers again was the maintenance shop. And you said it was for tools, because I think before the main thing was they were stocking the shop for, to make it not having to run to the hardware store. Could we get some background on the tools?
It doesn't have to be right now, but yeah, details of $8,000 tools in 1 month.
So the main one is gonna be close to $2,500, which is gonna be a storage cabinet, a flammable safety cabinet. We have 10 steel safety cans. We bought 60 lockout padlocks. We bought a set of Milwaukee M18 tools, which includes cordless drills and battery pack and a grinder with paddle switch. We got a Wagner Flexio, which, to be honest, I'll have to Google that. I don't know what that is. We have plastic pallets and others.
Thank you.
Anybody else? You started to say something?
No.
Okay, thanks, Rick. Now for committee and partner updates. Who has what? Who wants to start things off?
I'll start with service areas. We had 2 weeks ago, we had our service area meet and greet. And it was really, really, really well attended. 30,
I think it was 40, around 45.
45 residents from service areas came out, and we had some refreshments, we had some more herbs and appetizers, and we all got to talk and kind of hear what's going on in the service areas. We got to hear pain points, we got to hear what we're doing well, where we're improving. And I think we're improving. I think we're starting to get better. Certainly in communications, Alex and Delise have really done a great job. I know this year has been tough. Years past have been really tough. But the feedback that I heard in talking with residents and the ongoing feedback is that we're really starting to notice the change. We still have a lot of work to do, obviously, with project management, project oversight. Landscaping continues to be a major pain point. We had a meeting today we had meetings throughout the week with the service areas. We had Spring Lake Gardens today, Spring Lake Townhomes, and one more that's escaping me. Savannah Square, thank you. I missed that one. So these are things we have to continue to work on going into next year. I will say Spring Lake Gardens is going to need some board attention at some point. I know we've talked about it a little bit. That one, I think, we're going to have to keep our finger on the pulse of the landscaping there. They don't have reserves. They just have an operating fund. And there's a lot of feedback around what's not going well with the landscaping. We just approved $19,000 in plant materials, I think, at the last meeting. So those installs, I think, are just about done. But a lot of the plants are starting to die. A lot of the plants are not, either they're incorrect or they're at the end of life. And there's going to have to be some creativity around how do we put this on the right track.
The new plants are starting to die?
No, I'm sorry. There are some that are reaching their end of life. Yeah, the new ones are okay. But I did hear that how much have we paid in warranty work? $500,000 and
Over $500,000 in warranty replacements throughout the CROA association.
do we know what percentage of that is service area versus common?
I have to.
Okay, I mean, it's a lot.
A fair amount has
Yeah.
been.
So, yeah, I think going into next year, it's going to be important to keep our finger on the pulse of that. Everything else, I think, is going pretty well. Alex and Delise are doing phenomenal. Really, really good stuff. What else do we have going on? It's been quiet. We didn't have anything with Carrie. Nope, nothing with Peggy. Maddie's been quiet. And yeah, that's it.
Tis the season.
It's the season.
And so on the Miami side, we walked two of the parks that they're potentially going to pass over.
Oh, cool. Okay. Is there anything on the amenity center, like with the pools, the heated pools? Did that go anywhere?
They sent us a number, Luis is pushing that.
Is there anything we need to pay attention to on that so we don't lose traction on that?
Nope, we're still pushing it along.
Cool. Okay. Sure.
An update from Dog Park. Jen just gave a finance update. CJC is, just had a meeting before this about the communications position and the cost sharing with that with Canoa. So more to come on that. Master plan is moving forward with final designs on the multi-purpose course. So we should see those.
So you'll have final schematic designs, and then the goal is to have construction documents by the end of January.
That's moving on really well. I think that's all my updates. I do want to say, I attended an event at Savannah Square that CROA and the Foundation did, and it was last night. It was really nice. The landscape was beautiful. Decorations were great. There was good attendance. It was very nice event. I'd like to see more of that stuff. That little, fairly low investments type stuff was really good for the little parks that we have. That's all I have.
All right, Katie.
No update at the time on communications.
Tech committee talked about a weather cam, setting up Lakeside. Looks like we've got pricing and everything, and management will be moving forward. Camera that they can stream.
Oh, just screaming the weather and celebration online. So you want to see what the weather's like in celebration.
That was actually an initiative from our communications manager, but it was recommended that they discuss it with with technology. And I believe that'll be on our workshop for next meeting.
We get at the stage, and then if we don't want to come down, we can watch stuff on.
Great.
I would vote for it then.
Yeah. Marco, Shirtman.
we discussed it and recommend to approve the cyclones as a contract with partner program and eventually help for the sandy courts is already in the action items for our agenda. We also talked about the new club application. It's in the agenda as well for approval. We update actually the items for the club. We are also reviewing the outside grills. It will be on our next agenda to better understand what the needs of the community and where's the best place to put an outside grills in the common area. For the lifestyle and special events, we have the books and pines activities. We have a lot of discussion about that. We're still looking for sponsors. Other events it's gonna be amazing again. It's a lot of surprise coming from Doris handling very well this. That is there as well with her inputs and centerpieces, nice ones. And Martin God is coming. It's eventually discuss tonight as well. And get a talk will be about tomorrow. Tomorrow even, please. Sorry.
Tomorrow night is the holiday concert from 6 to 8:30. We have a big production company, Morrig, I'm trying to pronounce it. They're gonna be singing and dancing and so on and so forth. And as of Monday, we might have had 2 or 3 tables still available. It's almost sold out. If it hasn't been, it's closed. However, residents, those are for reserved seating. Residents can come, bring a chair, a blanket, or whatever, and still enjoy the evening. It's resident only. We have Finns from Encore Resort in Reunion coming, who will have food for purchase, all kinds of food, and also vegan, gluten-free options, and also have drinks for purchase. And it should be a beautiful evening. The whole team has worked really hard on pulling it all together, and it should be a beautiful evening.
Awesome. That's it.
I'm sorry, I forgot most on covenants. It's been quick. We need to,
I forget all the time.
I know, yeah. I'll get about it. And Eric's not here. We need to figure out the design guidelines, where those are, because my understanding was we were gonna have those sent to the covenants committee. So I can connect with Eric and figure out where that is. But I think we want to try to go into 2026, getting eyes on those. So that's more management than else. We can, I just want to put that on the radar.
Does anybody have anything else?
No.
How about foundation? At the meeting again. On another subject.
On the holidays. So in November, we started the holiday season with an ornament decorating event at Island Village, partnered with Arts and Rec on that. And I think Jared, that kind of speaks to what you talked about at Savannah Square. It was just a great time for residents to stop by, get to know each other, and partner together. So they made ornaments, put it on the community tree. Then we had a break towards Giving Tuesday. The Parsons Creation Village and the foundation did a double-year donation for Learning Without Hunger. And I am beyond pleased to say that we exceeded the double donation due to the generosity of this community and the Rotary Club of Celebration. It exceeded almost $50,000. So it just shows you the hands and the hearts are definitely behind the Learn Without Hunger program and making sure that the students have what they need in order to succeed. Today at Island Village, we had our Hunger Heroes show up with 80 gifts for the registered families in transition. It was Legos. Everybody got a Lego, a Rubik's Cube, and a Squishmallow, and the parents got a $25 food restricted holiday gift card, and then they got food also sent home for the holiday break. Again, I stand to say, we are trying to provide that these students receive everything at their school so that they feel safe and seen at their school community and a part of everything that school does. We did a Savannah Square sing-along last night. It was magical. It was, when I left, I felt very at peace. I had seen people that I hadn't seen in a long time. The community chorus pop-ups were a pop-up event. So you never know what's going to happen in celebration. We also had our holiday concert. We had the brass band of Central Florida return. They could barely fit on that stage at Community Presbyterian Church. That was not sold out, I will tell you. Everyone that attended had a jolly good time. Then we headed towards the holiday home tour. We had 10 seasonally decorated homes, all shapes and sizes. I always say the homeowners never know really what they signed up for until the tour is over. We had almost 1,500 tour attendees go through the homes. We had 378 volunteer opportunities. We sold out of all of our trees and vignettes and broke another record and raised $155,000. And I will tell you, this community continues to amaze me with their creativity. Advent Health Celebration did a tree together with Alice in Wonderland. It was nothing short of fantabulous. And then we had 2 women that every year decorate a tree together that called me very early in 2025 and said, we want to claim the Wicked theme. Don't let anybody else do the Wicked theme. So one of them did the pink tree and one of them did the green and black tree. That sold for the highest. And of course, the films being released, the timing was impeccable. We are finishing up the holidays with the Nev Parade. We are providing the sheriff for Celia McFadden's annual event. So if you know anybody that wants to be involved, please tell them to reach out to her on social media. And though the holidays are wrapping up, we are looking forward to 2026. We have our first concert on Friday, January 9th. That's David Shannon from the West End, featuring Zoe Tyler. We will be having a community connections in January 2026. And we are closing our scholarship applications January 31st through the Education Foundation. The Foundation, Celebration Foundation is giving $31,000 scholarships in honor of our 30th anniversary. So if you know someone, please encourage them to apply. And I just want to wrap up this year. I cannot believe it's December by thanking the Celebration Foundation team. That is the fabulous board, I call them, the Board of Trustees, the Advisory Council, the 16 committees, and the 402 volunteers that served our community along with each of you. Every time I tell the stories of our community to my family and friends up north, they say, do you know that you landed in the best place in the world? And I said, yes, but tell me more. So thank you all and happy holidays.
Thank you very much. All right, let's move along to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve it?
A motion execution.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Now to action items. First one is the motion to approve. We need a motion to approve the payment plan for Astoria and Celebration. Before we discuss, I'll make a motion to approve. Second from Jared, and let's discuss.
So Astoria reached out to Charlie, proposed a payment plan that was in your packet. The finance committee discussed this at their Monday meeting, and there's a piece of paper in front of you. This is their recommendation of a counter proposal to Astoria's payment plan.
Okay, what do you guys think?
I agree that I don't have an opinion on December. What we can do there, we can do whatever with December, but I don't think letting them have all of 2026 to pay back all of 2025 is right. I think finance committee is right in the 6-month timeline for that.
Was any investigation done into their financials?
Yeah.
The owner, the
It's not good.
REIT that owns it. My thinking is, we can ask, but does the turnip have any blood?
Warren mentioned that they're doing some work there, so they've got some funds from someplace, it may be the reserve fund they have. But they've got $57 million judgment against them. It's a web of several facilities like that, plus some student housing that they own. And the top 2 people are under federal indictment also for health fraud and other things. where the liquidity is coming from, there could be some, creditors to put some forward to keep the properties current, and to help with things. So I think we need to get what we can get as quickly as we can get it.
Well, that's why I wanted to ask finance committee members, because if we get, what their proposal was 30 some odd thousand in
32 some odd thousand
a
a
month.
month starting in December with a pause in January, February to pay their full 26 dues to CROA and CANOA, and then resume the 32 until the remainder of the year, which would bring them current. The finance committee's recommendation is ask for a January payment of $125,000, a February payment of $49,873.84, and then the remaining balance of 301 and change be paid within 6 months, which is a total monthly payment of $50,000 compared to the 32.
I mean, really, what is the likelihood that we are going to get 125,000 plus the 30 that they will owe to Canoa, or $155,000 in the month of January?
Well, no, they just know in January, they would just pay the 125.
Yeah, well, then the Canoa would just go into arrears.
The CANOA is February 49.
No,
No.
the 49 is the
That's just the
remainder of the CROA 2026. CANOA's
So
not,
they have their own payment plan with Canoa.
they don't have a payment plan, they're current with CANOA, but they will have a new bill with CANOA come January. Their CANOA contract payment is in like 30,000.
What if we counter, just for argument's sake, the 30 some odd thousand starting in December, which is now, we got money, that's some. And that they go into arrears with Canoa. Because they owe us a whole lot more money. And we propose that they give us the 30 in, because basically, if they're giving us 30 some odd a month, it sounds like something that they have at least calculated for now they can afford. And go ahead.
The other thing we just went through the insurance renewal. And we're now taking on more because of the fact that they weren't insured. So that's additional that we do need.
No, we were taking on it not because they weren't, because we were
We
uninsured.
didn't have them, but we now, so we have to figure out how to pass that to them too for 2026. Basically the cost that we're having baked into the CJC.
You should budget it.
Yeah, that's
Well, but I mean, that's still.
I think our
We're
immediate
still
problem
waiting
is,
for the number attributable to them.
I'm just saying,
So-
it's gonna be piling up.
yeah, but we need to get what we can get. I agree.
As soon as
I
possible.
think, we talked about this in finance. I think shortening from 10 months to 6 months. And then we need to have a time bound decision from them. Lauren mentioned that there was 45 days the last time responding to us. So we need to make this offer effective through December 31st. It expires at that.
This offer?
Yes, and it's gotta be well papered.
Okay,
And they gotta know that if they default at any point, then we're gonna call everything to take all legal recourse that we can. That's more emotional than anything. We don't have a lot we can do.
I was gonna say, yeah, what's behind that though?
Well, they came to us.
If they've got a first and they got mortgages that take precedent.
Well, they came to us and they said, here's what we can do. So what we're doing is pulling it in a little tighter. So we didn't want to just accept their first offer. I think they must have planned this out in some fashion. They might have the financing, but something else could go sideways. They could end up with a bill from some other place or whatever. But we're gonna get 175,000 in the first 2 months. So we got nothing now.
We were checking a little bit about this. The other thing, what do we want to do about the amenity access? Because maybe there's value in saying, we're gonna turn it off. And
It's off.
We did turn it.
so it's off, right? Well, so we would not turn it back on effectively.
Well, if they default at all, the agreement would say, we're turning it off immediately and all bets are on.
So they wouldn't get, by putting them on a payment bond, they wouldn't get it turned back on.
They would be, as long as they were in compliance with it, I think it should be. That's good faith.
That could be part of
Right.
the counter.
Right, if they agree with this, you could restore their.
Okay.
And then if they default, it goes back to
Okay.
being off.
Okay.
Accelerated.
I agree with finance committee's plan.
Just that 125 immediately seems like it may just push them to say, no to the whole damn thing and take us to court.
But isn't
That was their
that,
offer.
that's what they're saying.
Oh, they offered the 125. I thought they offered,
All we did to their offer was pull it back to 10 months on the arrears part,
okay,
10 months to 6 months.
if that, then if they can do that, yeah, then I agree.
And give them December with no invoice, right?
Now, there won't be anything in December,
Nothing to say.
So I think that's,
but they need to make a decision in December.
Yes.
By December 31st.
And if they make the decision,
What's the deadline on the January payment? January 31?
When's that due normally?
It's due on the first.
Well, so it's not
This is.
delinquent until 30 days after.
so then that would be the date.
So 130.
Well, let's, in the paper, let's put it in there, that it's due on the first of January and the 1st of February, so make sure we paper. it.
So I'll amend the motion just to make sure we have the timeframes in there. Just to make sure we have the, and also in the minutes.
Making it do 1-1 and
2-1, yeah, I want the minutes also crystal clear, in the.
Okay.
I have one question, that when, so we go back to them and we tell them we need a response by December 31st. That way it's like not that 45 days waiting. If they respond yes by December 31st, do we turn their access on by January 1st?
Until we get a check.
Not until we get the 125. Okay.
So we turn them on when they get that first payment, that 1-1 payment, then they can be, if they make that payment on 1-2, then they'd be active on 1.
Or they make it on December 31st when they.
And then
accept the
they'd be
offer.
active 1-1.
I
They're
would,
gonna go, they're gonna go to Astoria if the access is turned off, and I'm saying that puts more pressure on them.
Yeah.
To pay up.
Okay, do we have a second on the amended motion?
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve American Sirens as entertainment to concert in the park, 6,000 out of operating.
I'll motion.
Is this just somebody
Yeah, it's just.
with a siren going?
And an American flag, yes.
American flag.
That's a,
Uh,
$6,000.
Any discussion of this? All those in favor? Aye. Motion to approve the updated 2026 club applications.
Second.
Motion second, got it. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Motion to approve one partner program, 9-month contract for Celebration Cyclone as apparently recommended by the rec committee. Motion,
I'll make a motion.
Charles? Second. All, discussion.
What's the rationale? I'm sorry, I missed this for the 9 month.
It brings their contract in line with the rest of the contracts and when they end.
Which is, so for the one.
December.
Or December, okay.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. E, F, G, and H, do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Motion to approve Ford vehicle leases for replacement and maintenance community standards, NEVs. Motion, second, discussion.
Is this the fleet plan that we talked about at the workshop?
Yes,
Okay.
this is the first version of that. Just a quick overview of it. Due to the ongoing and compounding mechanical issues with the 6 maintenance NEVs and the 3 community inspector NEVs, staff recommends replacing all 9 units with leased vehicles. Leasing reduces the impact on reserves, eliminates unexpected high cost repairs, and creates a predictable streamlined replacement plan. To best support the operation needs, staff recommends 6 Ford Mavericks, which are compact trucks, and 3 Ford Escapes, which are compact crossovers on 36 months leases. The Escapes would be for the inspectors and the Mavericks would be for all of the porters and maintenance staff. Then here's costing laid out as well. Alternatives are provided in the packet of purchasing options that do include, if we did look at a purchasing option, maintenance plans as well for those to help offset ongoing maintenance expenses.
So in light of what we heard about the finances, I'm taking a little bit of a pause on this, at least. Just at least right now in my head. And certainly.
These leases include maintenance?
You what?
They include maintenance?
The leases would not include, me, but it include the, large issues.
Right, a warranty issues, but not maintenance.
Correct.
So it's no different than buying in terms of that.
The one benefit of leasing is you can write off the lease payments.
Thank you, yes.
Is that, and that's
We confirm
beneficial
that.
for us.
We're replacing essentially golf carts with like full mini SUV, small SUVs. this is not a one-to-one replacement. And that, my biggest concern with this is we're going from NEVs to trucks and SUVs. And so I don't feel like this is
How many NEMs?
comparable.
We're getting rid of NEVs.
How many NEMs are getting rid of?
9.
Nine.
So it's 9 vehicles.
So it's 9
vehicles, but yes, to your point, it is switching to vehicles.
Substantially larger.
Mhm.
I think two things for me. One is I felt like when we discussed this at the workshop, we didn't discuss leasing, we just discussed the
Yeah,
purchasing.
we just discussed purchasing.
And possibly even used purchase, that was also kind of brought up. So the leasing option is new to me, and also in my mind, thinking about this, like, it started off with like, what, 1 or 2 NAS having some battery issues? And now we're purchasing like all these vehicles or leasing all these vehicles when it kind of just stems from something much smaller. I personally don't feel comfortable moving forward with this.
Why don't we do this? To Jim's point earlier, why don't we give it to finance and let them run the numbers?
Yeah,
I'll make a motion, I'll amend my motion to refer this to the finance committee.
And I would also maybe consider looking at like a phased approach. Take care of the initial need, see if.
And but also look into the details. If there's a huge savings in doing it all, they'll do the math. And look at the
I just
various
don't know,
options.
like, yeah, the savings, but like, what is it, at what cost are you?
Well, if you buy 9 cars at once, they're gonna give you a deal.
Are they? And do we have that money to pay for 9?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's why I would like to have finance look at it.
Yeah,
We also have at this meeting, if needed, we have Luis, your director of maintenance, and Danica from service or for community standards. Main reason we wanted to just put at least an option on the table, knowing that more work may need to go into this, is we currently have a large issue with them continually going down, and we're not able to.
Right, I get that part. That's it.
Okay.
That is, to me, I understand that. There isn't a need, an urgent need, I feel like, to either somehow to make that work. But I don't think this, I think this is a like overkill, my opinion, based on even like where we are financially too. Because I know there are other needs as well that we need to address too. We're still like working on the maintenance shed and other things too. So it's like we're trying to prioritize that, and then it's just like, oh, well, the NEVs are having some issues, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna replace the whole fleet. I just don't know if that like kind of falls in line, like logically.
I hate creating additional work, and I know we talked about this at the board about a fleet plan, but you know, in light of, you know, so we've got the Covenants team. So who actually uses these vehicles? It's the Covenants team, it's the maintenance team, and who else?
Parks and Rec and
Parks and Rec.
administration.
So is there so like NEVs are a good example. Like I'd expect Covenants are just doing villages, like village by village, not a lot of like driving through full celebration. So potentially could you allocate NEVs toward the Covenants folks? And then so when I'm going with this,
Well, problem is Covenant still has to go to Spring Lake and Island Village.
yeah, I hear you.
And
I
the
think
the
that-
issues with the NEVs are just persistent. And the issue with the Covenant's NEVs is they're not even ready to be phased out fully yet. But because of commercial level use every day, they're not the ones that are working, which right now we're usually having 1 to 2 down a day. There's only one other vehicle for the 6 to 7 inspectors a day going out.
Can I ask one question too? Like, I also felt like during the workshop, we were talking like a more of a compact vehicle replacement for the NES. How did we get to a Ford Explorer?
The Ford Escape. which
Oh,
is
Ford
a
Escape.
compact.
That's a little car.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's still, it's
Is it
bigger
like
for
a-
one person to go around and see if your grass needs cut.
Yeah, but there isn't anything really that's gas that's much smaller.
They were trying to consider the easeability of in and out as the vehicles stop and you have to they exit dozens of times a day.
that's what we had to know.
Yeah.
What about, again, just a thought. We send it to them to run the numbers and see what's gonna work longer term.
Yeah,
Shorter term. Some of the car rental companies will rent you a car or two month by month at a lower rate than you would pay daily, so that we have a backup for when the one or two NEVs go down. And that can be rented for a month, and then, you know, if we need, then we go, oh, we gotta have another one, we can go immediately and get another car.
While not ideal, it is something that we would really need to look into to be able to hit the.
Yeah, see,
January-
they've gotta have some sort of,
I agree. Have we heard back from the maintenance people of the nest, like that we needed to come and fix the issue? I know that they're in Georgia.
They still don't have any other work here to come out.
One is in the shop, one is still in the shop when waiting on parts, and as I
That
just
one,
showed those others. And that's where it says the issue with the damage
Yes.
isn't one vehicle,
Mhm.
it's rotating problems.
you can rent from some of the national car companies, a small compact car for under $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Month to month, no long-term commitment, just to get the people a car.
Yeah, I think that what we need to be discussing is how to address the immediate need of the vehicle so our staff can do.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, if they can't keep the NEVs up, we can wish all we want.
And the other thing too, what is this doing to our insurance?
It
So
does-
if we're doing
We
9,
checked into that, it would have no effect leasing or owning for the insurance.
but we're not insuring 9 vehicles right now.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
you are.
Yeah, we are, the NEVs are all
But
insured.
those are, but don't we have to carry different? They're all
It's the same insurance. Yeah.
Same collision.
Mike?
comprehensive.
Yeah, just back up to a higher level. What we would need from you is, what is the fleet size? I mean, I think the first thing we got to decide what the fleet size is. And I think we have 18 to 20 vehicles right now.
No, not that many.
Now I can run the number though.
Count them up, but I think you're in that range.
I think it's
I don't-
18.
I
think
think it was listed in the insurance package.
Is it 18?
About 18,
I
yeah.
thought we had like 15.
So I think we need to look at how many cars do we need? And I had a discussion with Gary last week, and he said that the Cummins people are pairing up and going to neighborhoods and so on. And I'm sure our repair people, they go in teams a lot of times to do projects. They're not always single use. So we've got 45 employees and we've got 18 Cummins. I think we've got to decide on a fleet size, then we can tell you about financing, and then we can talk about phasing in a plan.
So we need sort of a time and motion study.
Exactly, it's a strategic plan on cars.
Yeah.
And you gotta start with, what's your fleet size?
Well, what's your fleet size and what's your usage? What's the daily usage? How many cars are down in a given, or not being used? Like typical day of the week,
One or
a
two
Wednesday,
days a day.
one or two don't move.
Oh, even as far as, that's because they're broken. But if
No,
you're
but let's say they wouldn't move if they were all working.
Oh, we have about,
How many cars would be in motion on a daily basis?
we have 1, 2, 3, 4 to 6 staff members submitting mileage a day because we don't have enough vehicles.
Okay, so we're already exceeding the fleet size in terms of use.
Yeah, currently, so your inspectors are doubling
Not
up.
so sure, that's utilization, so that how you're using can make a difference too,
So-
because dedicated trips make.
So the vehicles that are dedicated to maintenance, the number of vehicles they have still requires them to double up and Luis to use his own personal vehicle.
Walter, yeah.
And Walter sometimes as well. For the fleet dedicated to community standards, they double up as well. Parks and Rec have their 2 trucks. Yeah, and their 2 trucks are in motion regularly.
So I guess what I'm getting at is that if the vehicles are if all 18 vehicles are being used pretty much all day long, and we still have employees who are expensing travel, then we have a problem with our fleet size currently.
As I drive around town, I very often see 2 of our vehicles at different locations. At the same location. So 2 cars are going to separate people, separate trips.
That's why I'm saying maybe we need a time and motion study that basically says what's going on with these vehicles, because again, that's anecdotal. We don't have any real numbers to back it up, and they're saying they've got people who are filing expense reports for mileage. Jim,
Yeah, I was just gonna propose that we get together with Finance and Graham Mathers before the end of the year. Walk through all of this.
Yep.
Look at the vehicles. See.
because then you can make an informed, or you can make an informed calculation.
What about Island? So the addition.
And then Island is also.
So that's the other thing, like, and to your point
That's
about
your
the strategic plan. Well, right, but that's to the point of the strategic plan, like, that's where I think what.
All right, so let's say we've got a motion now to send it to them. You guys have now a mandate to get with them. And you'll come back to us.
Workshop, we'll be able to. give you-
Yeah, you can come back to us the next workshop, which is the 14th, right?
Yeah, you got a month.
We got a long time. You got a whole month.
Yeah.
That gives you tons of time, then we can reconsider.
I think your idea of if they need to rent up to 2 vehicles for a month.
In an emergency, yes.
Yeah, because
Well,
I
just
don't,
get them and hold them for a month, because you're right, it'll be cheaper to do it for a month than it is to do a week here and then
Yeah.
in another week
Yeah.
later on.
because we don't want to stop productivity.
Yeah, and maybe we just January or, yeah, because the college here, January 1, rent a car. Shop around, find $1,000 a month, decent little car. So you've got a backup when those NEVs go down just for the month until we have this market.
As if I understand right, they are using their own car to work on 3 employees. So
Right.
why we don't approve 3 for Mavericks or 2 for Mavericks and 1 for Escape? Right now, and then split the other 6, the 5.
The thing I think we want to do is we're running really hot with some of the finances right now. And we just want to make sure that what we're looking at is the proper need. And it makes sense.
Yeah, I think what we need is like the rental fix, which is an interim fix, which allows then maybe, if you need 2, you get 2. Because that's all within your
Yeah.
financial mandate. Then it gives us a month now to come up with a better plan to solve the problem on a more permanent basis to really see how the financing will work for that. That makes sense.
To know how many miles are on the new vehicle we bought already.
About 2,000 already.
Okay.
So, all right,
I think we've had it 5 weeks or 6 weeks.
we're putting some miles on
Someone's store, I think.
So, all those in favor of this plan? Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, that's our new plan. Now to our only discussion item. Amenity rules. And I think, who brought this up? Katie, I thought it was.
Okay, so basically, like, I think there was some questioning around some of the amenity rules and the signage, particularly with Island Village. So, what I kind of want to clarify is, the signage with the guest policy and make sure we're in line with our signage and our guest policy. And if so, if you can kind of explain that, and then if we could maybe take a summary of that and communicate it to the community through like Monday Matters or something, like, just so everyone can be, so we can be transparent and make sure things are clear and everyone's on the same page.
Yes, yeah. So just on a high level, and we'll put this out in a communication to the community as well as looking at our signage packages to adapt them. All users of fitness centers need to have a signed liability waiver on file, which has been tied to the access of fitness centers on their resident badges. There has been recent confusion with rule signage, as mentioned, that residents are responsible for guests, is what it's saying on some of the signage. This is for registered temporary house guests, which is an option where residents who have temporary visitors staying with them can go into resident services with that visitor and have a badge made up as a temporary house guest with a short-term usage rate on it. At that time, they can also opt into signage gym waiver, which then that guest can use the fitness centers with that badge that is assigned to them. As a reminder, all users inside CROA fitness centers need a badge assigned to them while in the fitness center.
Okay, so that takes care of the confusion with the signage where it says residents are responsible for their guests. It's referring to the temporary house guests that have a CROA ID on them.
Yes.
And they've signed a waiver as well. Okay, yeah, and then
That's why we have the waiver sign on the door that says you gotta have a waiver.
I think that's where there was just some confusion, so that would be helpful.
Yes, we can do that.
Right, because it says guests, and then we say no guests allowed.
Yeah.
We should probably change signage to temporary house guests,
That would even be better.
so it ties the two together.
Makes sense.
Yeah, if that could be updated to that, I think then it might resolve any future.
Or ID holding guests.
Yes.
That's
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah,
similar.
Yeah.
temporary house guests with ID or whatever. Yeah, that's great.
Management update.
So on Recently this month, Jennifer, our communications manager, has received a wonderful opportunity within her personal life that does take her away from celebration. We're sad to see her go, and we're actively working on filling that position as quick as possible. And then two other quick updates. There's, the town hall, the construction, the large replacement chiller system was craned into place this month. The exterior perimeter skirt has been which the main issue of water infiltration is being addressed. There's a lot of demo and a new large concrete barrier with water, with works to prevent water from intruding in the future. Drywall arrived on site this week, so we're actually going to start drywalling. And in our recent OAC meeting that took place this week, where we expect much discussion to take place in the January board meeting with updates and seeking board directive on multiple items. And then the splash pad is taking shape. We're really excited that that's coming to its final steps. Community update was provided this past Monday, and once we get all certifications and everything settled with permits, we'll be set an opening date and announce that.
I have a question. I don't know if this belongs to your report comments, but does Grant Manners have any AI? Like, are you using Copilot or anything? Or any other things just throughout the processes?
IT is using them for some of their functions.
Our internal IT department is rolling out Copilot to CROA software coming in January. Real Manage as a company is starting to implement AI processes that they just announced in their all hands meeting that they're going to start rolling out as well.
So I'm going to look at you. I think we need to have an AI governance policy or have some discussion around it potentially.
Be part of the charter.
What's your concern?
Responsible use of AI.
What specifically what are your worries about responsible use of AI?
Well, I want to make sure that we're using it for the right reasons. What information are we loading into it? How are we governing it? Really just having a conversation with tech.
Well, for me, we would really need to find out what Grand Manners' official policies are, because they're gonna be the ones using it, they're gonna be the ones paying the contract. And is the instance a private instance where information isn't shared, or is it a general public instance?
So I agree with that. And there's two layers. I think there's also a layer for us where,
Tell you what, hold that thought.
I'll defer.
Let's go back to management, because I don't want to lose the management report.
I'll do it more.
What, anything else?
Nope, that's all I had. And addressing your first question on that as far as policies and how to use and what to input.
Okay.
That was just mentioned in our Real Manage all hands call just a few days ago.
Okay.
Those policies are being set up and set to be
And
rolling
can you
out.
share those with tech
Upon which receipt.
when they're done? Okay.
And the board.
Yes.
And the board, yes, that is.
When Real Manage rolls those out, issues them to us, we will provide them to the board.
And is that going to be part of CROA too? Is AI incorporated into it is?
They did have separate discussions on resident experience.
That's where I'm trying
AI.
Okay, you're worried about the resident thing, yeah.
Well,
And again, they're discussing, it's in its infancy, so they're, in terms of incorporating it into agentic kinds of things.
But this is the point where we need to get in front of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And it sounds like they are.
Dual pronged, as far as internal staff, how to use AI and what to put in, they're looking at, as well as how to adapt it into their current resident experience softwares.
Okay, any other board comments?
One question, can we get an update on the Lakeside Circuit Breaker?
Ah.
And I know that was in our management report that it was under.
Thank you. Yes, so the Lakeside pool heaters, there's two large units to those. Both of the units are operating properly. The current issue is with the breaker panel to that. A new breaker panel has been ordered. It is expected to arrive to our electrician mid next week, and then we're going to install it promptly. Until that point, both heaters are operating intermittently to not over exhaust one or another. So the Lakeside pool is currently working with one pool heater, and they're like I said, then it's rotating which one is on. That way they don't overload that unit.
And also have some feedback from Long Meadow residents. They said that when the electric blower was used, they could definitely notice a difference. and like sound, and they said it seemed like the person there who was doing it was really efficient and it was quick. I think there was another day where it wasn't, and so they just could definitely then compare the two. So when it is used, they are noticing like a big difference. To provide that feedback. So thank you.
One more thing. So do we? I know Brian comes to some meetings. Is there value in having him come to these on a regular basis, or at least asking him? Because it's been a little bit since we had the conversation with him about the quality.
He regularly asks if his attendance is needed. We typically only reserve it for whenever we have.
Let's not have him at every meeting, but let's have him at,
You know, we want to have like a quarterly meeting.
I think we should have him at workshops.
Every work.
No, not every, but I mean, you know, every other, every third. I just don't want to overwhelm Brian. He's got to.
Well, because we've been inviting him when he has large project approvals on for discussion. But if you want to put like a specific discussion item on, it's like a check-in with Exquisite.
Standing, but yeah, I mean, I'm open to whatever.
I can't say.
I just would
park
think
enhancements.
He's the vendor, so I.
Yeah, but
We created a parks enhancements schedule for the year of 2025, which we acted on. We just received a requested quotes regarding all of our CROA parks and deficiencies that we're seeing, and we're kind of redid those quotes that we just received in this week. That Luis and I are going to sit down and try to run out a priority list of those, so we can do a park enhancement schedule for 2026 to present to the board. So you will start seeing him being involved in our meetings, because we're going to start bringing those types of estimates to the board level.
Yeah, it was him and the pool vendor. I think the pool people should be more present at these meetings, because we've had so many problems with the pool. Now it seems like we're finally starting to turn the corner.
Well, this is your new vendor.
What is?
This is your new vendor, the pool vendor.
That's solving the problem.
And this is electrical, this is.
And this is electrical.
Yeah, this isn't a pool.
You have your
Yeah, this is our electric.
Samtrees, which is on site 7 days a week, which just does the daily maintenance. And then Symbiont is the proprietor for the heaters.
And landscaping has been improved in the last 6 months, has it like dramatically improved, I feel? I mean, like what I see.
Yeah.
From what I've seen and heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Savannah Square alone, like that was. such a
We'll
big-
never get perfection.
It's a different story in the service areas.
There's a few
but
But all the
target
service
parks.
areas aren't necessarily Exquisite, right?
Most of them are. The 3 of them are AES. Three.
A lot of it.
Here's the thing, maybe
was
the service areas meeting, you need to bring him over so that he can hear directly from the service areas. As opposed to
Well, I also think we should be on top of him with common areas, because now that it's great that he's on top of it, but we don't know about tomorrow. The point is just having him here.
Are those separate contract service areas? Are they? on the
Yes.
same
Yeah,
contract with
and
Exquisite?
Luis has been on top of Brian since he started as the vendor.
For my last time this year, I will motion to adjourn.
Second? All right, we're adjourned. Thank you all so much. Okay, wait, we're not having another meeting this year?
Oh,